Hey guys, this is Bowie Trading, and I've started a new hobby. I wanted to inform you and talk to you about the journey where I'm at right now. I decided to start running, which is something that I really haven't done since high school, and running was never really a hobby of mine. But I decided to get into it, and I'm going to talk to you about why I started to do it. So, I like to read every day, try to read a chapter of a book. Um, a lot of the times it's stocks stuff with trading or just motivational books like Jocko Willink and just basically books that get your mindset right. And I ran across Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, and my life is in a interesting spot right now. So I basically decided to read his book, and it really hit me. Like I used to play games a lot. I wasn't extremely driven at the time. Like I got my stuff done and I had discipline, but I wasn't extremely driven. And I read the book. He has challenges every single chapter of the book, and I followed those challenges, and it motivated me. I once I finished the book, I uninstalled all the games that I was wasting crazy amounts of time playing. Valorant was the new one that I was playing, and I completely uninstalled it. That and Apex and Warzone and everything else, and just uninstalled that and started really getting my discipline right and trying to get my life in a better place. So, one of the main challenges that I focused on and really changed my way of life, I guess you would say, is this challenge 8 that he came up with. So, basically, to sum it up, you compartmentalize your normal schedule for the day. So, I run now at 5 in the morning, and then I trade, and then do other stuff, and you just put in little time slots basically. And once you put in your time slots, you just do it the normal thing that you would be doing for the week, and then the next week and the week after that, you start trying to trim out the fat of where you're sitting on your phone for too long, or just basically trying to make your day a lot more efficient. And that's the goal of this challenge, is to basically is make yourself as efficient as possible and just grind as much as you can in what time that you have. So it's a really good challenge. I would recommend anybody to try it. It's made my day so much more efficient than what it used to be. Like, I've trimmed off probably about 3 to 4 hours a day of just useless stuff, and it's just helped me organize my day and get everything a lot cleaner. So I started to fill in more efficient things like studying or just more reading or anything, instead of playing games and doing the shorts and stuff. And I still do shorts and watch YouTube, but like it's not nearly as much as it was. And I've gotten so much more efficient to where if I do watch YouTube, it's after I've already taken care of everything and just on my relaxed time when I'm eating and stuff. So now that you have the basis for why I had this crazy change, I guess you would say, um, I decided to start running. I mean, I read his book, and he ran a lot, and I was just like, why don't I try it? I mean, I exercise every day anyways. I was like, why don't I just try to start running? So I tried to start running, and it was rough. It was a very rough time. This is my first run. I started on January 29th. I just wake up at like 5 in the morning and then get ready and then start running because I trade at 6:30. I need to look at charts and figure out what's going on from like 6:15 or so, because I already do like a game plan from the day before. So I already pretty much know where it's at. I just need to see where the opening is and where the levels are, and then that's fine. So I need like 15 or so minutes to look over it and get prepped and have all my like apps open and all that other stuff. So this was my first run. It was rough. It was cold. It was extremely cold. It was like 30 degrees, and I ran in Roshi runs, which is not the vibe at all. But I did it because I didn't have any running shoes, and it was a really rough run. But I felt accomplished because I actually went out there and started running, which most people wouldn't do, especially at 5 in the morning when it's extremely cold. So I definitely felt accomplished. I didn't really care about my speed. It was slow. It was very slow, but and I didn't have good pacing either. Obviously, I mean, it was my first run, so I for the first week or so, I really just focused on getting through the run. I just wanted to get my lap done and start trying to get my endurance up. I did this for about 2 weeks, and at the end of that second week, I started running into some ankle issues. My ankles were just really hurting. I had switched to some new running shoes called the Juniper Trail 2. When I switched to the Juniper Trail 2 shoes, I have to say that they're complete dog shit. Like, they hurt my heel, they rub weird, they started causing my ankles to like really hurt. They're so big and clunky. I mean, they do have good traction. They don't even look good. They were just cheap. I got them at the clearance Nike outlet, and I was like, okay. Like, I didn't know anything about running shoes. I did a quick checkup, and it said they were okay. But these shoes are not the vibe. Please do not buy them. They're terrible. I honestly hate these shoes with a passion. They are so clunky and big, and they make you run so slow. And it's just, the shoes are just, don't do it. So I ran with these for a little bit, and that's when my ankle issues started getting really bad. And from the end of the first week to the second week, and I really struggled with my times, but I was just getting my endurance up. And basically, for the first 2 weeks, I just tried to run about 1.2 miles, and then I would try to push it to about 2 miles on my third week. But yeah, the first 2 weeks I just tried to run and get it consistent, try to get my times faster, try to learn like my rhythm, my stride, and it was rough. I was pretty achy in certain areas. I was never really sore, but that's just because I bike all the time, so my legs are used to the beating, I guess. So the soreness wasn't a problem. I was lucky on that, but yeah, my ankles were really struggling, and it was very hard. So I kept trying to push through these shoes for about another week and a half, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So I went back to the Roshis, which I consider my personal what do you call them? Like my savior shoe. I don't know what it is, but every time I have an injury, I throw the Roshis on, and the injuries they're not nearly as bad. I run PRs, and you can't like I don't understand these shoes, but they're super good. They're like not good support or anything. I don't understand why they work for me, and I wouldn't advise running in them. But these are the shoes that I run in when things go wrong and I'm in pain. Like if I have ankle pain, later on I had some toe pain, just on the Roshis for a day or two, and for some reason it just heals all. So I would say about a month into my running, I started to get my breathing better. My endurance was getting a little bit better. I was running about 2 miles a day because I run every day. I don't take any breaks. Like if it's raining, I just throw on a poncho or whatever those little plastic things are, or just thug it. So yeah, I literally just ran every day, just 1.25 miles or 1.2 miles, whatever, and then 2 miles on some days, and then it started getting to 2 miles consistently, and then that was around um, the end of February, and then around the end of February, I went back to the Nike clearance outlet, and I got the Nike Pegasus 40s in this colorway, and they're super comfortable. They don't hurt my heel or my ankle. I don't even have to wear ankle brace anymore when I run. They're like really nice. Like I looked it up and did research on it. It's basically just a nice general running shoe. It was super nice. Really liked it. It was really smooth. Nice like spring or bounce when you're running. Like I would definitely recommend them if you're new to running and you don't want to spend a crazy amount on shoes. I got them at the outlet for like 60, 70 bucks. They're just really, really solid shoes. I actually really like them, and they don't even look bad. You can wear them outside, and you won't look like bad. You won't just look like a normal ass person. So once I got these shoes and I started feeling comfortable, I went from 2 miles to gradually going to 3.1 miles in like a week. So I ran like 2 miles, then 2.2, then 2.2, then 2.4, then 2.8, then like 2.8, and then 3.1. Like basically the whole week I would just gradually increase, which is something that I never did, but I just wanted to try it and see how it would work. And I found that I didn't really like it that much. I didn't like the gradual increase. I like doing normal runs and then having a longer run at the end of the week, which my legs are a little bit fresher and it would just feel a lot better to run it, honestly. So this latest week, which would be technically week 6, I think, of running, at the beginning of the week, on Monday or Sunday, I don't remember the day, but I started running and my toe started to hurt. I believe it was Sunday because I did a pretty long run. So my toe started to hurt and it was just radiating through my whole foot. Like every single time I took a step, it would hit and it would just radiate to my whole foot, and it was pretty bad. And it started on like my first half mile, and it was pretty rough. So I just kept pushing through it. I don't know why this short just came into my mind when I was doing it, and this guy was like, and I don't really like this guy either. I'm not gonna even say his name, but basically he was like, even if you're injured, just try to push through it, because 7 out of 10 times you will be able to push through and be perfectly fine. It's just a little bit of discomfort, and even if you can't finish, you tried, and your body is telling you that you really shouldn't do this. So I pushed through. Pain went away a little bit, but it was still really tender when I was trying to do the rest of my workouts. Like my toe was hurting, so when I did push-ups right after, like my foot was hurting to do like push-ups and all that other stuff. So it was definitely a rough day. And then I did some research on it. It was called turf toe, and basically you're supposed to let it rest, but I'm a real one. So I threw the Roshis on Monday, and I just thugged it. I just ran a shorter distance. I ran 2 miles instead of my 3 or so. So I ran 2 miles in the Roshis, and it hurt, but I got through it. And the next day, it got a little bit better, so I threw on the Pegasus, and just pretty much ran 2 miles every day. Besides Wednesday, because Wednesday is like my rest day. I mean, I still run, but it's my rest day for like weights or cardio, like riding the bike or whatever. So I uh, I ran 1.2 miles. It's just I try to run as fast as I can, try to get a PR, because I'm like building up my endurance. So I was like, every rest day I basically just try to run and get a quick PR and see how that goes. But um, I actually failed this last Wednesday to get a PR even close to it. Really, I was like 30 seconds off because I hung out with my friends and drank the day before and went to sleep at like 1:30. So my run was definitely not solid. But on a positive note, my run speed was faster pretty much than a lot of my other like Wednesday run time. So I was actually glad, and it was showing some progress. And to actually go back to that, this last week, I was realizing that I was running really sluggish, and I was like really struggling with energy because I do intermittent fasting and keto. So I was struggling with my energy, and then on Tuesday, I had some airheads at my mom's. I had like five little small ones, and then I looked at it and it came out to like 55 grams of carbs. And then my run on my run on Thursday. So I did it on Wednesday. My run on Thursday was solid. So I started realizing I need to eat um, some extra carbs for the energy. I mean, everybody knows that, like you're supposed to, but I don't know. I don't know why I didn't really process that for the first 5 weeks. So if you are on keto or like any like carnivore diet or whatever, just like you got to get some carbs in there because it really helps you with your run. It really helps you with your energy. Like it's really solid. It's definitely solid. So definitely try to put that in there. So anyways, after the Wednesday rough run, I just on Thursday and Friday I did the 2 miles still because just make sure my toe was like good, and I could run consistently on it. And then today I ran 4 miles, which is the longest run I've had since high school. Um, and my pace was fine. It was like sub 11. So I've been I don't run extremely fast right now. Like I'm really just like trying to get my pacing down and just trying to slowly increase my speed. Because at first it was super slow. I was running like 12-minute miles, which was really bad. But then now my miles are like in the nines. If I run single mile, it's in the nines. If I run 2 miles, it's around like 10, high 9, low 10. And then when I start adding miles on there, I feel like my pace is it's kind of too slow. Like when I ran it today, I felt like I was a little bit too conservative on my pace, and I should have ran a little bit harder the whole time. So I'm definitely having like issues with my pacing and getting it perfect, but I mean it's just with practice. So I'm at 4 miles right now. I'm not mad. Tomorrow I'm debating on running 4 miles again. I was gonna run 5, but that's my goal for the end of March because I'm trying to do an ultra. Not ultra. That's what Goggins does. I'm trying to do a half marathon on in December sometime. So my friend and I are supposed to be doing it in December, and I want to get to 5 miles by the end of March. I want to get to 8 miles by the end of May, and about 10 by like July. So from July to December, I'll have an extra 3 miles to put on. I can get my speed right. I can practice with the little backpack and the gels and all that stuff. But my main goal is to be at 10-mile runs by the end of July, and like I'll be set. I'll be definitely ready. for the half marathon, because the half marathon's like 13.1 miles or something like that. So I'll be uh I'll be set. I'm gonna do some hill training when I get to like 7 or 8 miles, because there's like a really big overpass. So it's crazy. And I can just run up and down that like twice, and that'll just be a little bit of hill training and stuff. So I'm definitely coming up with a plan um, of where I want to be and what I want to do for this. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about my journey right now. I mean, it was a quick summary. I'm kind of salty I came up with this idea now. I should have came up with this idea like in January or February when I started running, and I could have been like step by step. And I mean, it's solid. I mean, I just waking up early, getting your run in, you feel so accomplished, and then you go on with your day. I mean, like, you get in way better shape, obviously. Like, I've lost a nice amount of weight, more than what I normally would in this time period, and I look a lot like slimmer and just way more in shape. So it helps your physical, it helps your mental, and it's a really good start to your day. I mean, if you can do something like this every single day, it's just gonna help you have a really good mindset, because you're accomplishing something that isn't easy every day. And people, like, when you're running, look at you like you're crazy, and you're like, well, I'm out here, like, I'm grinding, and you guys are not doing anything. Or they might be they're going to work or whatever, but it's like you guys aren't doing it. So it does make you feel a sense of accomplishment, and it just gets your mind right. And I mean, your body's fully like up, and it's something I would advise for anyone. If you're sore, just push through it. It does suck, but if you're sore, just make your mile, like your distance, shorter, but still go out there every day and try to push. I would suggest pushing every day. I mean, I did it with bike riding. Like, even when you're sore, I would just push and get through it, and eventually your body's just going to start getting used to the abuse, and it's just not going to be an issue anymore. Like, it just, the soreness goes away, the pain goes away. But I mean, like I said, if you're in a lot of pain, then you just gotta let it go. I mean, but if you're new to running, you gotta realize you're gonna have some weird, like, little feelings when you're running. Like, sometimes your knee's gonna feel a little bit weird and all this other stuff. And that isn't just like, oh, like, I ran a little bit and my knee started acting weird, like, I quit. Like, it's not like that. Or like, my ankle's starting to feel a bit weird, I quit. Like, try to run on it for a bit. Try to put some effort into it, and then if you finish your run and then you're feeling bad for the whole day, and then the next day you try to go on your run and it's still bad, then that's when you need to possibly take a break. But I would just suggest pushing through most of the time, unless it's like you'll know when it's a really hard, like, rough injury that you need to take a break. But I mean, you should always do your stretches and stuff. I don't stretch, but I just use there's like that little massage gun thing. I just use it on like my Achilles, because my Achilles feel like tight sometimes. So I use it on my Achilles and my calves and stuff before I go on the run, and that's like my little warm up and my little stretch. And I do like a little small stretch before when I'm at the line, the start line, but most of the time it's just pretty much a little massage gun, and just get the tendons and muscles loose, I guess, and it works for me. I haven't had any injuries. I'm not really an injury prone person, I guess you would say. So it's been working fine. When I do get to like 7 or 8 miles, I'm gonna have to get a backpack with a little hydration thing, and maybe try a gel, and basically just get ready for how the half marathon's gonna be, because you want to basically try everything out for the half marathon. I mean, before the half marathon, when you actually get into it, so you want to practice before you get into it. And when I get to that point, I'll make a whole video about it and figure it out. And one last thing. So, if you guys are trying to figure out your route to run, I'm just going to come up with a random spot. I'm not gonna say where I live, but you can go on the Go map and say I live right here. Whatever. So you can just come up with your run, and you can just devise a little route where it's not really interrupted by any traffic, or you don't have to worry about crossing streets and lights and stuff, because that's like the most annoying thing when you're trying to run. You have to stop when you're trying to run continuously. So like I go on this thing and I route my run, and it just basically tells me where I'm gonna go, because I know the area well enough to be like, okay, well, if I go here and here and here, there's not gonna be any cars, and there's not gonna be any lights or any nonsense. It's easy to cross the road and all that other stuff. So definitely use this app. It's really good. Um, I would suggest downloading the Under Armour app for track times, and they have this funny thing where you take a picture at the end of your run. I haven't done it yet, but that app works really well. I have a little watch. It's a little cheap. Like I think I bought it for like 30. I think I have for like half off, but it's like a 10 ski watch I got from Amazon. It's super good. It like checks when you're doing your walk. It'll record that, like your steps. It'll record like when you're doing core workouts, like your BP, like beats per minute, and like if you're doing weights or anything, like it'll definitely like talk about all that. So yeah, with the watch, um, it had me download this Verify Fit app, and basically it just connects, and every single thing that happens through my watch, it'll just send it to the Verify Fit app, and then it'll um, basically just give you a breakdown of how many steps you had, or how much you worked out, how many calories you burned, and all that other stuff. So it's a really good app. I would suggest it. It's really easy to navigate. Um, so that's basically it. I'm gonna hopefully be able to run 4 miles tomorrow, and then I'll probably just do the 2 miles, maybe three during the weekdays. Because I would suggest running not heavy and not light, like medium, throughout the week if you're gonna run every day. Because like on the long runs, if you're just running basically your longest run, like a long run every day, it's like if you try to run that really long run on the weekend, it's just gonna be it's not gonna be fun. It's just not. And it's just, it messes up your time, and I just think you get a way better time, way better feel, and you just feel a lot better if you can just run normal runs during the weekdays, not too heavy, not too light, and then have a really nice long run. After this 4 mile run is actually the first time I actually felt like really drained from a run. Like I always felt tired and stuff, but it goes away pretty quickly by like the time I start lifting and all that other stuff. But I ran today at like 5:30 in the morning, and I felt like trash this whole day. I've definitely felt drained when I was lifting weights. I actually felt surprisingly solid. Like I did chest and back today. Yeah, chest and back. I felt pretty good, but um, yeah, I was just drained. I took a nap, but I always pretty much take a nap later, like at like 3 or so. But um, yeah, I was just drained today. I definitely didn't feel good. So we'll have to see if I need to up my carbs and stuff. But I think that's a really important aspect of the running, is figuring out your calorie intake, because at the beginning my calorie intake was really low. I had to start increasing it. Once I started increasing it, my run started getting better. I started feeling better, especially afterwards, and everything just started working. Right now I'm just trying to take in like 40 carbs a day. I eat like jelly, just toast and jelly, and I just take 3 scoops that I measure out. I think it's a tablespoon, or yeah, it's a tablespoon is like 13 grams of carbs, and I do 3 of those on keto bread. So each keto bread is 1 gram net carbs per slice. So I guess 42 exactly, plus whatever else I eat. Sometimes it'll have a little bit of sugar in it, but yeah, around 40 to 50 carbs a day is what I intake. So it's been working. I had a really good stride, and that 4-mile run today was really good, and I was fairly proud of myself because I was like, I just ran 4 miles and I still was angry at myself because I felt like I had more in the tank. So that was something that I wouldn't have felt or had in the last, like, I mean, I've only been running for like 45 days, and it's just a really big change, and I didn't expect to have such a big change, but yeah, it's been a journey. So I'll probably document how it's going every week, and then you just move from there, and yeah, just keep you updated and tell you about any injuries or any things I've learned on the way. And yeah, when I get to the eight or so mile mark, then I'll have the little backpack and start practicing with that, and we'll see how it goes. But that's where I'm at right now. Thank you for listening, and like and subscribe, Buoy Trading, and I will see you guys next week with an update.